All right, thank you everybody for joining this call today. Tosin Ojo by name, and I hope everyone can hear me. Everybody joining this call. So the idea behind this is to show or just walk us through my perspective. Right? This series is about technical innovation, showing talking about yourself, talking my work, how where I am today. So I started back as okay. So I believe you can hear me back online. Right. So the essence of this session is to connect mentors to mentees and connect mentees to mentors. And the whole purpose is to build an ecosystem become all round professionals, right? Um, so my person is that I started in data in a very unconventional way. I just want to say I will apologize for late, uh, and that was due to technical from the end here. We sincerely apologize. Uh, Mic check, let me check. Yeah, hello. I believe you can you hear me, please? Hello, hello. All right. So you take it back again, and just to say that we sincerely apologize for starting this call late, and that was the technical glitch. All right. So back to the essence of this call. The call is to connect mentor to mentor, and at the end of the day, what we want to see is to become a all-round professional and to make it easy for those who are just trying to make it easy and to make it worth it. And I will share my own personal story, maybe you can get it, and maybe that will help you guide you journey, maybe shaping to use. I was basically in PT, more like more like someone working with him compute his data. So I just compute data, and that's what I do. All right. I went on to do this. Yeah, you was your 1 year. So after my during my first year, I worked with a IT training company. So because of my background in mathematics, I was in the department of data analytics. So I was more like an assistant tutor. And that was when I learned how to use that was when I learned how to use uh, PowerPoint and for that was when I learned Power BI. That was when I went on to uh, to learn other things, and that is how I was able to stack my skill into Microsoft Fabric and Power BI and Power Platform. Also. Okay, so that is it. Moderator. That is it. I don't know you can hear me. Okay, so yeah, I got a message. Okay, so for me, in data, anybody can sign data, anybody can sign the consent. So it's, and Microsoft has built a platform on which you can, which you can leverage to, or yeah, can leverage to become a data analyst on each other. For if I'm advising anybody, I would say understand Microsoft Excel, then go on to also understand very well to good extent, understand Power Query, understand Power BI, Power BI, so it, and there are so many concepts in Microsoft Fabric. In fact, it is very relatable to the modern day analytics. In fact, because you have stack, that's where Microsoft Fabric the, is a right, and it is a stack that is used in any analytics environment. Okay. So understanding it helps so becoming a part from this public analytics engineer or being a data engineer. So,
So,
So can you,
right. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me? All right, sir. Can you hear me? Good evening, Mr. Uju.
hello? No. So I'll just continue to what I'm saying. Uh, so my biggest struggle, my biggest struggle with Public, Power BI, and Microsoft has been in early days, my big struggle has been and my having enough of resources around, right? Now, so these days there are so many resources available. There are so many opportunities available. There are so many opportunities to learn new things. So invariably, one can learn anything. And I mean that's what I say to people that this is an opportunity in this world we are now. It's an opportunity. There is more so much opportunity to learn new things, right? Even right from uh, almost for free. So going on YouTube, you have tons of resources that you can consume. And another good thing is Microsoft using Microsoft Learn. It gives you step by step to learning. So if you are very new to Microsoft Excel, right? One place you can learn from it is Microsoft Community itself, right? And more of this attending events, community, just look for Microsoft community, the Microsoft community. So it's Fabric, Microsoft Fabric and Power BI community. And those are the kind of things we do on a regular basis, right? You can join all kind of community, learn almost for free. So that's you can start anything. even without spending the time. Right. Next is to get Microsoft. It gives you a structured process of learning it, a structured way. So go through Microsoft Learn, just go search Microsoft Learn, then pick whatever package you want to learn. If it's Power BI, then it, for example, Power BI, like, it gives you the step by step for Microsoft for Power BI, even from the point of installation of Power BI, configuration of it, to your data ingestion, so your data ingestion, data processing, analysis, even from that. And generally, in the concept of ETL or ELT, you understand every Microsoft level. If you go into Microsoft Fabric, everything you need to understand, you go in there, you do it from there. So there are opportunities to learn everything you want to become. And I think another thing is there's opportunity with learning Microsoft Fabric or Microsoft Power BI or even a Microsoft product. For example, more, I mean, most companies still use, most companies use of products, most, right? Or the entire of the organization is Microsoft. So from Teams, you move to Copilot, to Excel, to so it's an entire ecosystem, and that ecosystem, and anything that has an ecosystem is a good way to be yourself in, right? Microsoft, having any Microsoft application, Power BI, Excel, I'm a strong advocate. I'm a strong advocate for Microsoft. Strong advocate for Microsoft, to be honest. So having those kind of things in you give you opportunity, more opportunity job wise, right? That upskilling, an opportunity to upskill, right? So from that, you get to data analytics role, you can go to the analytics engineering role, and so many roles in between. Even BI intelligence, that's BI engineer, business intelligence engineer, or BI developer, business intelligence developer, and so many. So, the basic is that that the entire ecosystem of its own, and I think that's a good way to set. So, like I mentioned, I started my journey to Microsoft in an unconventional way. So I didn't start, so I didn't set my mind to, to, to learn Microsoft Excel. I didn't set up, but I found myself doing it, and I have to pick it up, right? And I did, and I mean, looking back now, I see that it is an amazing, 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 an amazing, amazing gift to be able to do that. It is not something you uh, in a, sometimes they say something on a platform. Some doesn't, some does see it as an opportunity. And when you're looking back, you see it as an opportunity. So, right. So, struggling. So, some struggling. I'm saying don't start by start with trying to learn everything, try to do everything. No, have a structure. So, you seeing different JDs, so they mention oh, knowledge of Fabric, knowledge of Power BI, knowledge of Excel, knowledge of this, knowledge of that. Take it once a single step at a time. And I will say Microsoft Excel in anything you do. Excel first. So that gives you the foundation because that way you know rows and column in itself, right? You know cell, what cell address, you know what column means, you know what formula, you know what function is, and you know different formula to use for different tasks. For example, if I want to sum up a row, sum up a column, you find you know what to use. If you want to do average, what if you want to, and that takes you to plot. You know what pie chart means. You know what pie graph, I mean, pie chart means, right? You know what trend means. So putting that together, then you learn how to understand power query. Okay, so if having learned all this, honestly, you are set for uh, you're on a good pedestal already. So that way, into Power BI. So in Power BI, now you now learn what you know how the Power BI looks like, why you that, 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 that. Then you then go into what data injection. So what are different data types that you data have different format that different format. You have something that you put in Power BI before. You can want to pre-process a Python or pre-process a JSON file. So that way you are able to kind of understand to work on data. And you then go in when you have exhausted. So just take it step by step. And that's why I really like that. It is good that you go through Microsoft Office. There are resources that you can use. It's a good resource for everybody to use to learn. So it gives you the structured step by step format of things. So you're not jumping from one to another. Oh, today, read this one. Next tomorrow, when it's mentioning something, I jump to it. No, just stick to it. Understand it basics by basics by basic by basic. Then you go to the next one, understand the basic by basic by basic data. The small few rows, work with that, try to and co-pilot and ask to you can use AI to prompt questions for you, generate even data for you that you can work with. And you can use AI to generate data and from that and you can solve it, right? And that way you are building building a perfect process. And another thing, the last thing I would say is that don't forget to build in public. Don't forget to build in public. Everything you do, once you are building, right, uh, share your your struggles and share your wins publicly, right? And those are the places. So if anybody is tomorrow recruiting you, so that they have evidence somewhere to look at, oh, I think this is right, and that is it. So you build public evidence is a good way to do it also. I also practice indoors. So you practice indoors and you build evidences openly, build evidence openly. Like show your evidence, show what you can do. Because not every time somebody you will It is you apply for jobs. Some some people can reach out to you for some things, and yeah, those are kind of things I will advise anybody to do if you are starting as an analyst, right, or Power BI or Power BI professional.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for waiting. We really had a difficult technical situation here. That's why we started this program by this time. Um, Mr. Tosiojo, officially, I want to welcome you to this broadcast. Thank you so much for making time, and even going ahead of us to share the wonderful insight and experience that you have with our audience. I really appreciate you for that. Uh, I believe straight on moving on to the question and answer session, and
Thank
just
you.
like the thank you very much. And just like the title of this program or the theme of this program, that is technological innovation and pathway for the grassroots. So I want to ask you some questions pertaining to how young tech individuals like ourselves, people who are just starting into tech, people who are just coming up. We've seen what you've built over the years. We've seen how, you know, I looked at your profile today and I was really amazed at so many things. So let's just get into the questions. The first question I'll be having for you is that, for all individuals, wherever, whatsoever sphere we find ourselves in, there's always that point in our lives where we are like, okay, this is what I want to do. There's a point in our lives that we say, oh, I want to move in this particular direction. So I want to ask you, sir, what was that point for you and what was the experiences that surrounded that point, sir?
Okay, so thank you so much. Like I mentioned the other time, I was saying that how I got in was not I got in a profession. It was fun. After my uni, I had a job with. So what I had to do person is more like a free is to help him compute his questions. So he go out to get data almost every time. And what I do back home is to compute that and I use fixes. That was more like data coder for in SPS, and that was it. And I then went for NYC. In NYC, I learned Excel properly, Microsoft Excel properly. And from Excel, then my next job was, and I had to use data now. So I used Power BI. I learned Power BI on my own, and that's it. So I strongly believe that anybody can learn anything on their own now. It is more. We are now more it's a more democratized society now, where you have Microsoft as your support, you have YouTube as your support. You have so many ways you can learn. So we have Microsoft community. Which I mean, I lead one of Microsoft community, Microsoft Fabric and Power BI, and those are the places that we do anything now.
Thank you so much, sir, for that answer. Even beyond telling us the starting point, you already gave us some tips on how we can actually learn. I believe I have some friends who are upcoming data analysts. I remember I spoke to one this morning. We are sharing, we decided to be like a form of accountability partner. So he checks on me, sees my progress, and also check on him. I remember he screenshotted something like something did with Power BI, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, congratulations. I was like, but to be honest, I really don't understand what I'm looking at. But I believe for someone like that, I believe with what you've said, I know that right now he knows where to go next. In his career, what next to develop. Thank you so much, sir, for that. I want to go further to ask you another question. So the question is this: is well, I'm going to call this question breaking boundaries now. I personally, when I started in tech, there were different obstacles I had. And some people around me, they have this obstacle, either not having the right device, or not having what they need to start, or they claim that they don't know what to do next. So was there any point in your career that you felt you faced a challenge, something that you believe that if you had not overcome, you won't be where you are today? So what was that challenge, and how did you overcome it, sir? Hello, Mr. Ojo, is still with us?
Lost you there.
Okay.
What's the end of?
Sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now? Are you with me now?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is this: what are the obstacles you faced in your career, in
Yes.
building your career? Maybe an obstacle that you believe that if you had not overcome it, it should have, it should
So
have prevented you from
if I
being where
get you
you are
right, you're
today.
saying
Okay. So it seems like we're having issues on network issue with Mr. Tosiojo. So let's give him some time to come on board, and we'll start.
hello. Sorry, am I back?
Yes, you're back. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So want to continue from that previous question. When you were giving the answer, we kind of lost you.
Ah, okay. So sorry. If I only completely, I think about barriers to getting into the profession or anything. Right. So personally, I think I mean, the bias is in our mind. This is not motivation. It's not a motivation at all. But realistically, it is in our network glitch, internet, uh, gadgets. We have so many that I won't stop. However, I believe that the outcome barriers or the challenges. Let me put it this way. Now, like I mentioned, that you can learn anything even from the comfort of your home without having to pay for any training, right? YouTube is there. YouTube has more resources. Microsoft Learn. Microsoft has almost all the, so if you want to be Power BI developer, Microsoft Learn has all the resources step by step. Get it? And you also have communities, free communities that give either like my community now we do the free sessions, right? So you can run it for free, public and yeah, just take it from zero to from zero to zero. That's what we say from zero to zero. And I think those kind of community are more around. So once you are able to, why not? I'm not trying to downplay the fact that access to things like that is a big thing. However, I still think that there's still way around it. So that if you're able to solve the aspect of gadgets, so if that is using a community center to learn it or something, if if that's out of it, the learning is the learning is or where to pick that learning is free for free. Just know where to look for it. That's it.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. I need to get my writing materials down right now. I should not be missing any of this. Thank you so much, sir. Um, okay, one question I have. Currently, I'm the president of the National Association of Computing Science Students in Crawford University, and we have a program that we're running this summer period, and the program is an outreach program, and we gave it a theme: sustainability in tech. Sustainability in tech. And what we do is we going to this going to secondary schools, talk to them about tech. And based on our observation, we noticed that some people, when they start into tech, tech is a very broad area, and people tend to move from one place to another, not gaining mastery of what of the particular part they picked. And before I interviewed you, I remember I went on your LinkedIn and I saw the first thing you did, data analyst, second, research, everything was just aligned perfectly. And I'm really envious of what you did. I don't know how you're able to stay on track, sustaining that particular career choice, despite the fact that it was broad. The field is broad, so many things to do. So my question to you is this: for the people who are watching, for the people who get easily moved by new technologies, like for example, you see someone programming in Python and they tell you AI is taking over, and you completely abandon what you're doing to learn AI prompting, which is really not helping. So my question is what are the tips that we young guys or we new into the field should keep in mind in order to stay consistent on that particular thing we want to do? Did you get my question, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. I get that. I get that. Um, interesting one. So I would say that you starting out, to be honest, starting out, you don't know everything. You are not even sure of anything. Especially if you have not, you are just learning and to get it. Your it's really different when you start working. When you get, I personally, I even as data analyst, right? I still do training in business analysis. Even if I still do some management. But all this, everything still points back to what I just need to be to broaden in a kind of way. Say you are still who is looking for job. To be honest, it's everything everything is you need to take everything serious. I think being open minded is one thing. I write code, I write for Python, I write C plus plus, but you might not even see it in my because it might not be relevant. And there's so many other things I do that you might not see because right. I've done graphics, but you might not even see it. It's not relevant. Uh, too bad. Maybe I'm doing the point you find so like sound like a inspiration. a mot- You can I would say that for anybody, like three, three things do well, three things, and learn three things. Don't focus on one at the start. Make it like three. Survivor. First. You have to survive first before you start. Like three. You might be a graphic designer. You might know how to design. So that one can be giving you side gig, can be giving you more money to keep going, right? You can learn Power BI, so Fabric for data analysis and still be able to code with Python. Or maybe one non-coding, it might be music itself, it might be music. Eh, so that three things diversify. Then when you get your first job, that's when almost your path is bright. So let's say you land your first role as data, your path is almost you just keep building on that path. But your graphic skill will help your analytics, right? Because it will show when you in your visualization, it will show in your reports. Okay, that way, even if let's switch it, if it's your graphic design code and you got defined that way, you can leverage your analytics on top of it and move on from graphic designer to become a product manager, product designer, UI designer, move on to product management, and move on to product analytics, right? So those are there are so many opportunities, but for fresher, for somebody just coming out of university, don't box yourself. Don't box yourself. Identify three that you can do very well, then pursue them.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So we had to just to reiterate to say I understood everything. We had to one of the major things you said is get three, identify like three skills for for survival. And it's I believe this is the first time hearing a response like this. Most times when I listen to motivational speakers, they tell you, "Oh, you can't do everything at once. Pick one thing, be good at it, be super good at it until you're the best and all." But what you just said is something practical to, especially this side of the world, survival. Imagine you pick like one particular skill and that's not what the people around you are looking for, but at least diversifying to three is a very good start. And I think it's something that is more realistic for us in this part of the world. So thank you very much, sir. I'll be asking the last question for tonight's session. the last question for tonight's session, and it's still in the aspect of sustainability. It's still in the aspect of sustainability, but now we want to look at sustaining the person himself, sustaining the human body. During my early days in tech, when I really got engrossed in the whole thing, I'll be, try to code day in, day out, learning day in, day out, until I got to a point of, a burnout point. I could not even do anything. Even when I was doing designing at a particular point, it got to a point that when I sit in front of the system to design, I don't even have I don't have any inspiration, nothing. And most times I have to confess, I'll end up going to Canva using templates to design. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it was not what I wanted to do at that point. It was just like my last resort. So I want to know, do you have any tip for us to make sure that we don't get to a point where we burn out? How do we balance the aspect of trying to stay in trend, the aspect of trying to stay current with also managing ourselves?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Right. As for balance things up, you need to understand that there are times you need to walk away, right? A productive mind is not one that keeps working. Body has to slow down. Body has to slow down. So you need to have a routine. Either have a routine that works for you. So one you get to have a, get new ideas. Not like you're trying to design. It's about it's creativity. You need to be able to think about an idea in a particular manner. But once you know that it's not coming, take a walk. Take a walk. Just I think I've done that a couple of times. What I do when I walk back to back, I know that my productivity is coming down. It is non negotiable. So what I do most times is most weekend I just shut down my laptop. I'll just be sleeping. Sleeping. It might look like at the end of the day I'm not doing it, but let me add myself first. Person no go there. Because the thing is that and most times what I have learned from that is that your skill level, yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for the answer. One of the things you said something profound. I think I'm going to turn it to like a quote and even design something around it. You said a productive mind is not a mind that keeps working. So what I'm understanding from that is not you're not productive because you're always working, you're always thinking of something 24/7. What makes you productive is that you're able to bring out something. And if part of the process of bringing out something is for you to take a break, is for you to relax, is for you to shut down your system and come back again, then it's still part of productivity, it's still part of the whole thing. That is very, very, very life-saving for me personally. And with that, I want to start by saying thank you very much for making time out of your schedule to have this conversation with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity, and it's a great honor to be meeting with you like this. Thank you so much. Looking forward to having more sessions like this, maybe another session in the later time with you. And to everyone who joined, I want to also say thank you. Thank you so much. And God bless you. Any parting words for us? Any parting words? Something you just want to let us go with?
Parting word. Okay, so I will say that anything you want to do, and when once you set your mind to learn anything, have a structure, structure, put structure around things. Structure, put structure. There is a step by step. What helps you learn even to the small thing that get smallest tasks done first, second, third, and not be carried away with with new words that you hear every day. People will keep inventions every day. It's good to have idea of this. However, abandon what you are doing and start jump this one, start jump this one, and jump into new every right. That's it.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a structure for everything you want to learn. Have a structure. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Tosio Joe is, like I said, a privilege, and I'm really glad that we're able to have this. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, this is the technological innovation pathway for the grassroots. We have this session once every month, last Saturday every month, and today is the July's edition, where we had the privilege of meeting Mr. Tosio Joe. He's a professional in Microsoft Fabric and Power BI, and we just had a wonderful conversation with him. So his parting words to us are this: if you have, if you want to learn anything or if you want to do anything, make sure you have a structure around it. Don't get carried away by what is happening and you discard what you're doing. So thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you, everyone. This is a lovely session, and this is bye for now. See you all next month.